Hey, it's so good to see you again. How are you doing today? Okay, well, I'm very happy to see you because I have some exciting things to show you. So, last time we spoke, you were still looking at different options for flooring downstairs, for your bathroom walls, and you asked me to take a look at some fabric samples for curtains and for your sofa. So, I've got some things to show you today. So I got a few options for each of them, and I just basically want to know the sort of general gist of how you feel about them. You obviously don't have to pick any of them. You don't have to choose from these for sure, but I just got a couple options for you so you can sort of take a look at the different styles you can have, and I can just get a more clear idea of what sort of thing you're leaning towards. And then we can refine and, find your best options and stuff like that. But today we're just sort of exploring the different looks and colours that you can go for. So I think let's start off with flooring because that's what I have the most of. And I've got a little range. So I've got some wooden floorboards, and then I've also got EvoCore floorboards. So these are artificial, they're not real wood, but they have a lot of benefits, which I'll talk about in a moment. And I've also got a sample of the EvoCore sort of artificial tile, just in case that interests you, but that's just so you can sort of see what it's like. And I've also got a couple carpet options. Now, yeah, let's just start by looking at those. So I'll just show you what we have. Let's begin with the genuine floorboards. So I'll go darkest first. So this is our very first option. Now this one is in the shade Tanner's Oak, and I feel like this sort of dark but like classy style is good for the sort of more bold rooms that you were talking about. So this could be nice as a sort of, in a simple but classy arrangement, I feel like this could work. And I think the dark base will make for a sort of a nice layout for your pops of colour that you were talking about as well. It'll be a nice contrast. So, as you can see, there's this nice wood grain texture in here as well. And this is nice quality, so you're not going to have any trouble with it. And actually you get a 20-year residential warranty on it, so even if you do have some trouble, which you shouldn't, it'll last. But this is an AC4 durability rating, which is pretty good. Not that you have to worry about that kind of thing at this point anyway, we're just looking more at style. So this is option 1. Tanner's Oak. So actually, let me make my little notes. So the floorboards, and that was Tanner's Oak. So, any thoughts yet? You don't? We'll look through the rest as well, so. Okay. Alright, well, let's look at the other options. So, I got 3 wood samples. This is Tanner's Oak. Let's go with one step down. And that is this little guy. So this one is brushed oak. Very creative naming, obviously. But again, this is genuine oak floorboards. And you have obviously a warmer colour for this one, so I think this will work better for the rooms where you have a lighter scheme going on. I know you mentioned that you want to have some whites in a lot of rooms. I think that would look nice with this. You'd have nice, bright, airy rooms, and still that sort of bit of warmth to keep it looking not too sterile. So this is your second option. And again, you have a really nice wood grain going on here. This is probably my personal favourite, but I'm quite biased towards warm tones, so it really depends what you're going for in your rooms. But this is a solid option. So, one last one. We have this one. So this is again oak, but this is in grey, as you can see. It's not, I wouldn't say it's entirely grey. Maybe a bit more beigey. It just has this lacquer over the top. And it's this nice matte shade too, so you don't get the same sort of shine that you do with this one. This one is a bit more muted. So, I know you weren't really looking for much grey in your flooring, or you didn't mention it at least, but I thought you could take a look at it just in case, you know, it sparks your interest. But this is much more sort of subtle, and if you wanted a cooler feel to your rooms, you could go with an option like this without it being dark like the first one. So again, good quality materials and a nice finished look. This one also does not have quite so much of the wood grain in it, just because of that lacquer, I assume, so you won't have quite as much texture on it. So, just to show you together, there you have them. So these are my 3 wooden floorboard samples, and you can just use these to sort of get an idea of what the genuine wood looks and feels like, and it's useful to be able to compare these to the artificial ones later. But from these 3, do you have a preference sort of in terms of the colourway, or, you know, the style, the finish? Okay, yeah, great. Let me make a note of that. So, I'll get you some more samples then, next time we meet, with a bit of a more range in that direction. That is, unless you like something else better, but it's nice to explore the options. So, let's then take a look at the Evocor. Oh, I forgot to mention, these wooden floorboards, if you were to have these installed, you would be getting this insulation put underneath. So I've had a little sample of this sent over as well, just so you can see what it's like. But basically, this is just going to lock in the sort of warmth from underneath your boards. Yeah, make sure you're not losing heat that way. And you don't have those little cracks or anything. So, just in case you were worried about it, you will have some good integrity with your floorboards. But, great transition. Here is the first of my Evocor floors. And this is just an example of one of the artificial wooden effect things that they offer. And these, as you can see, do look really quite genuine. Like, I don't think I could tell the difference between these two just looking at them. So, this is a really good alternative, I feel. And the good thing about these Evocor things, this is in the colour Natural English Oak. We love an oak around here. So the benefits you have from the Evocor, as listed right on the back, are that it has this built-in backing first of all. So this insulation layer, you don't need to get that installed separately because it's already attached to the back. So this sort of foamy insulation layer, and then it's waterproof, it's eco-friendly, it's anti-slip. It says it's child-friendly, but all floors are, I would say. I suppose it doesn't splinter, so you have that, but a good installed floor shouldn't splinter anyway. And these are suitable for underfloor heating, if that's something that you're looking for. But yeah, it's easy to install, it's pet friendly, it's child friendly, it's you friendly, most of all. And it is a little bit more expensive, so there's your there's your catch. But I do think it looks really good, and if you are really looking to invest in your home and you want to have something that can, you know, accommodate all your features, then consider Evocool. But looks wise, of course we can go with any of the sort of colours that I just showed you on the genuine wood. Okay, so those are all my wood or wood effect samples I have for you. Do you have any sort of thoughts about where you want to go with your downstairs flooring, having seen those? Okay, well, yeah, of course we can get more samples. If you just sort of give me a rough idea of what you liked, what you didn't like, I'll do some window shopping and find you some options. Yeah. Okay, perfect, no, that's fine. So, I did mention I have Evocool tiles as well. So this could be for your floors, or you could use this for the bathroom walls that you were thinking about as well. So let's just take a look at it. Now this is an example of the tile. And I mean, you'll notice, you can hear it's not ceramic or anything like that. It's still made of this sort of same material. But it has all the same benefits that the flooring, the wood flooring had. So it's still, you know, waterproof. You can put underfloor heating underneath it. You know, you don't need the glue. It's got a lot of benefits, scratch resistant, all that. But yeah, so this is just, again, one sort of colour, but you can see it's sort of a stone effect tile. And it does have this sort of texture on it to try and make it look a bit more authentic. And from a distance it would. If you're just feeling it on your feet, then it's not really obvious. So if you're thinking about tile flooring, this is for you. And I do believe this is cheaper than genuine tiles. So there's that. But I know you also said that you wanted some carpet options, so I got a few. And you told me cool and vibrant, so I did get that. I've got you some blue and I got you a grey and a green. So let's start with the blue. There's some fluff from the other samples on there. Let's take that off. Okay, so sample number one. So this is a beautiful colour, I think. This is in the colour Peacock, and you can tell why. But this is a wonderful, really plush feeling one. And yeah, it's obviously a statement, a bold colour, but I mean, that's what you asked for, so there it is. But it's really a good quality and it feels really soft. So quality wise, you're on track, but colour wise, here's option one. So Peacock. Number two, got some little fluffy bits too. Now this one, I must say, is even softer. So this one is in the shade Fir Green, and it's a bit thicker as well than that first one, so really would be soft under your feet. And of course you can sort of touch them all and tell me what kind of texture that you're looking for, and if you want like a colour and a different texture, or a texture that's different but the same colour, I can find them for you, so just let me know what you like. But here's Fir Green. And just by the way, these carpets are bleach cleanable, so don't worry about the mess. And of course they come with a 20-year warranty as well. So nothing to worry about there. And your last one, just in case you wanted a more neutral option, I got this one in Almond White. So as you can see, it's not a perfect white, it's sort of slightly greyish, creamish, an off-white, so you're not going to get the concern of it getting dirty where you walk on it and that sort of thing. It'd be really obvious because it's sort of camouflaging in that sense. But this is just in case you wanted a lighter feel to your room. So, for comparison, there we have peacock, fir green, and almond white. So, let me know, what do you think? And I mean, you only asked for blues and greens right now, but of course if you are thinking about expanding your choices, just let me know and I'll find some other colours for you. So, out of those, what are your comments? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, of course, yeah, I can. Okay, sure. Well, I'll make sure to have some of that for next time. So, that's all I've got for the flooring. So let's put those aside for a moment and move on to one of my personal favourite parts, which is the bathroom tiling that you were asking about. So, I have got 3 options here for you. So let's unpack them together. I haven't had, oh, sorry, that was my bubble popping. Let's unpack them. I haven't had a very close look at these yet, but it's a supplier I trust, so let's have a look. So, I know you said you wanted something interesting in this room, and that's very vague. So I've gone in 3 different directions here, and you can sort of tell me what you think. So this first one, this is a wonderful quality tile. This is a sort of marble effect in pink. It's called Onyx Voila, polished porcelain. So porcelain. But it has this wonderful, really very muted light pink colour. We matched today. But it's sort of beigey side of pink, so it's not too flashy extravagant, although I know you're not against that. But it still gives you some kind of interest in your bathroom. So this would make a really nice bathroom wall in a sort of clean and simple, it will be clean and simple I suppose, in a light theme. So I think this would look really good with gold accents if you're leaning that way. But yeah, these are quite heavy. This is probably my favourite, but don't let me bias you. So, number 1, Onyx polished porcelain. So number 2, this is another polished porcelain, but in a very different shade. Let me open it. There we go. So, second we have this one. So as you can see, this is quite a stark difference, and this is Phoenix Nero polished porcelain. And you have this sort of marble effect again, but this beautiful dark colour. So it's not black all over, so you're not going to have a super dark, overwhelmingly gloomy room, but it has these lovely sort of white veins through it that are going to make for a really nice effect on your walls. So if you want something more dramatic, this is the one for you. Now this would go nice with your dark flooring if you happen to lean for that. Or if you go for the tile floors, the Evocor tile floors would go nicely. But another great option, I think. And again, a wonderful feel, really good quality. So once again, comes with free delivery and with a warranty. So, option 2. Now, my last one, I went a bit different with. I know you said to just do whatever, so I did do whatever. And I got a pattern tile. So I'll show you a bigger picture at some point because obviously this is just a small part of the pattern and you would end up with a lot more. But I want you to take a look at this because it's beautiful. I will show you the full picture because when you've got them all together it really looks quite amazing. So obviously this is just a small part of what will eventually be a big sort of mural wall, an accent wall I would assume, of these big exotic sort of leaves and some flowers. But I thought this was really gorgeous and it has a sort of matte finish so you can see the pattern still, you know, from all angles. And oh, I just love it. And I know this is it's quite extreme. No, it's not extreme, it's just bold, but I think this is really beautiful. And it could make for a really, really interesting sort of pop in an otherwise average room. So, this is if you're feeling a bit more wild. To recap, these were your tile options. So we had the exotic floral leaf landscape, this lovely pink, and our darker black and white. So let me know if you have any questions. But they're all really beautiful, I think. Such a nice, oh, they're so smooth. As a tile should be, but I still find it really satisfying. So, what do we think about them? Okay, yeah. Would you want to see sort of the same style in different colours? Or is that... Yeah, okay, sure, of course. Well, I can get you sort of similar ones that you can pick from if you want something like that. But, you know, you can see a bit of variation. Okay. Right. Well, that's it for the bathroom walls. So, what do we have left? The curtains and the sofa. So, how about we do curtains first? Let's do the curtains. So, got the curtain samples in here. This was a much more manageable collection, a lot less bulky. But I followed your brief and I got warm tones and I got whites. So again, let me know if you want something different, like if you've changed your mind completely, that's no problem, and we can get some more to look at, but these are just for your delectation. So let's open that up. A second smaller envelope. Although I must say, this is very nice packaging. So, let's take a look at our samples. So I'm going to start you off with the white ones, and so these, I know you asked for both solid curtains and some lighter sort of voile options, so starting with the most basic voile. So this is just in white and it's a really, really soft, nice sheer fabric. So, you know, pretty basic. You've probably seen this before, but it's a great option for any room where you want to have a bit of privacy but still let in the light. So I'd suggest this for sort of like the front facing rooms of the house. Or if you have, I know there are some windows around the doorway, also a good option. So, great option. First of all, a staple. And I know since you said you wanted warm, and you specifically said, I think, orangey, I've got another voile which has a pattern on it. Now, this is just one that I really like, and I know it might be a bit too out there for you, but this one is embroidered, and it's in the colour terracotta. And you can see it's this nice thick white sort of threading. Do you hear that? I really like it. And again, of course, this is just a small sample of a large pattern, but you sort of get the gist. So when they're hanging, it's going to be like a beautiful flowing look. But I think this is quite a nice subtle way of introducing that little bit of colour while still maintaining the sort of sleekness of it. And it's still obviously that transparent voile. So, another good option. And while we're on the terracotta train, I got some for your more solid curtains. And this, feel free to say no to, but I think it's gorgeous. So this is a velvet. It's dust repellent, so that's a pro. It won't get musty and smell weird. But it's also in terracotta, and I can't explain to you how good this feels. It's beautiful. I mean, feel yourself. But I would not stop touching these if I had them. And I can be a bit heavy, I know, but this would be great for living room, close them at night, bedroom, anything like that. Really, yeah, beautiful. And has that nice warm tone that you're after. So, gorgeous. Now, okay, so the last curtain sample I have for you is this one. And this is a boucle in ivory. And so this is a really nice sort of midpoint between the really sheer and the really completely opaque ones, because as you can see, this you can't really see through it, but there are these little tiny holes in the knit, so it'll let in light still. So this is great for that in between, if that's what you want. And it's really soft, like it's a woolly sort of texture. Very nice. And finally, this isn't a curtain type, but they have sent also this little sample of the blackout lining. So if you want any of the curtains from them, and it doesn't really work with a lot of these ones because they're either already completely opaque or they're meant to let light in, but any of the curtains you get, you can have this blackout lining put on. So in places where you really want to keep it dark, so bedrooms probably, you can customize any of them with blackout lining. So that's very nice. And that's all of my curtain samples. So let me just show you those again. Here we have the full range. So, those ones are backwards. There you go. A very nice lot, I think. And yeah, so I didn't go too crazy with the colours on these ones, as you can see. But I still think they're very beautiful. And yeah, so what do you think? Are any of them sort of towards what you were looking for? Or do you want to head in a different direction, look at some more stuff? Yeah, so obviously for different rooms you want different kinds of things. Yeah, you'd like, okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, I can definitely get some more so you can have a look at a bigger range and sort of suit them towards what you want. Okay, great. Well, that brings us to our final, and that is the upholstery samples. So you were looking for a sofa, I believe. And I've got some beauties for you. So another little package. And in here we have a catalogue, first of all, but we don't need that right now. Because I've got my lovely little samples. So I know you wanted more neutral for your sofa, so these are all a bit more basic, and I think that makes sense considering the sort of more bombastic colours you've gone for the rest of the room. So let's start off with this one. Now this is boucle again, like that curtain sample, so that's the sort of bumpy, woolly texture that you can see, and this is in the colour Seafoam. So it's this lovely sort of greyish blue. I like it a lot. And it's really nice and soft. It would be a nice tactile texture. Yeah, so Seafoam, number one. And then we have just a sort of plain linen, and this is in the colour Stone, and it's really soft. It's actually called Studio Soft Linen Cotton. But it's really, yeah, a lovely texture. And, you know, this is one of the simpler, more traditional looks, I feel, for like a sofa. So it's that nice sort of greyish, creamy, kind of like that carpet. So this will go quite nicely with anything, I think. Like, if you take that dark flooring, I think this will make a really nice contrast on it. And similarly, I have the same colour in a different texture. So this is Artisan Weave, and the colour is called Sourdough, and isn't that great? But again, it's sort of a bit more bumpy, like this. But it's still soft, and there's no sort of gapping in it or anything. So this is a really nice one, I think, for if you want a sort of neutral colour, but something interesting about it still, so you have this nice texture. And that brings me to the next one. Now this again is a sort of more plain option. So this is wool in the colour Fawn, and because it's wool, it's very it's really smooth and very soft. And yeah, it makes this really nice clean look, I think. It almost looks sort of like fancy felt, I think. But it really feels nice. And so this is more of a beigey colour, which again I think will go with any of those that you've picked. But it's nice and simple. And the last one. This is the herringbone in green. So you can see the herringbone pattern. And yeah, so it's just with this sort of dark green and light green. But this is, I thought, still quite neutral, so it goes with what you were asking for, but, you know, leaning a bit into a colour. And so you've got this nice sort of green tinged. I think it's a stretch to call it green, but a hint of something. And it's got that lovely pattern. So let's line those up. There we have them. So of these, I think my personal favourite is Seafoam, but that's just because I'm a colour girl. But if I were to go for plain, I think I like this one the best, the Sourdough. But of course it's your pick. So, are you still thinking neutrals, or what are you thinking? Yeah, we can get some more different colours to look at if you're not set on it right now. So, and also, you know, once we factor in your choices for the floors and the walls, that's going to make a lot of difference. So, you know, there's no rush to settle on something like that. Okay. So, have you got any final comments? Anything that you'd like me to look for next time? Or any of these that you particularly liked? Yeah, okay. Okay, so, well, thank you for sitting with me and looking through all those just now. It's really going to help me sort of narrow down the vision that you're going for and help you find the perfect ones. So, I will go and hunt a little bit more to find you the perfect samples. So I've got your favourites and your preferences down, and I'll find you things that suit those better so you can have a bit of a more specific choice. So next time hopefully we might actually find some of the final choices, and yeah, no rush of course. If you don't like them again, we'll keep looking, but yeah, I'm really happy that we're getting a little bit closer to your new home. Okay, well, thank you for your time, and I'll see you again next time, alright? Till then, bye. Hey, huge thank you to all of the people who support me over on Patreon, including my mid-REM cycle tier patrons Alexander, Bastian, Belly Button, Cosy Cass, Johnny B. Good, Luigi Rinaldi, Maxi Snacks, Michael, and Shane. Thank you so much for supporting me. It really does make a huge difference. And yeah, I couldn't be any more grateful. Thank you, and I hope you have